It is time now for your weekly recruiting report on the hardwood. Welcome back, Alyssa Orange, alongside Kevin McPherson. And you might be wondering, well, what's behind Kevin? He's not where he usually is, and that's because he is on the road. He is in Kansas City. So before we jump right into this, Kevin, let us know what you got going on this weekend.
Well, we've got Nike EYBL, ECYL event session, Kansas City, like you mentioned. Two facilities, one in Kansas City, Missouri. I'm in the one in Kansas City, Kansas, shuttling back and forth, watching a lot of high-level five-star guys. Get players that John Calipari has either offered or is trying to get on campus for visits and close to offering. Also, some Arkansas kids, highly rated guys that I'm covering this weekend. And I did it last week on the Adidas circuit in Texas as well. And same thing, five-star guys in Arkansas is recruiting, local kids in Arkansas is recruiting. And so that's what we do.
Always on the move, Kevin, always on the move. Well, let's talk about this roster right now for John Calipari. And there's still room to add more guys. I saw a post that you made earlier in the week on your social media about guys who could possibly come to Arkansas who are still on the transfer portal. The biggest thing that jumped out to me is KK Robinson is predicted to come back to Arkansas. How realistic is that?
I don't know. That was one projection from one service. It was one of those things I thought was interesting. Does it make sense? I don't know on that end. Really, the name to watch when you look at the lead guard is still DJ Wagner, the Kentucky transfer that visited Arkansas 2 weekends ago. We thought a commitment was imminent. It hasn't happened publicly. I'm told privately by a source that it did happen. But we'll see. Players are moving on to campus this weekend. Summer session 1 starts Tuesday, just a couple of days away. And you've got then physicals, and you're going to start your limited practices. So Arkansas at 7 players, DJ Wagner, a lead guard with experience 1 year under Cal at Kentucky. Let's see if that actually ends up happening. I think Arkansas could use another frontline piece as well, Alyssa. Coleman Hawkins is the name that you hear a lot tied with Arkansas. The problem is he's in the NBA draft process. His preference is to stay in the draft process. A source close to him told me he's 75-25, the Illinois transfer. If he comes back to college, 75-25 will stay in the draft. The player said earlier last week during the draft combine that he was 90-10. So 75-25 sounds a little better, like a better trend, but it still sounds like a heavy lean towards staying in the draft process, in which case Arkansas would need to look elsewhere if it wants to bolster the front line.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's talk about that kind of recruiting. It's starting to heat up. That's why you're all over the place right about now. What are they looking for as they continue to build for the future?
Well, again, when you're looking at 2025 with Calipari, it's always top shelf guys, five-star guys. Darius Acuff Jr., a 6'3" guard out of IMG Academy, not actually at the Nike event this weekend because he's taking part in Team USA minicamp and was announced to the 18-player roster. But he already took an Arkansas visit the same 2 weekends ago, the same time DJ Wagner was on campus, a top 10 rated 5-star guard. Again, IMG Academy by way of Detroit. And then you're looking at just, I've interviewed probably the top 5 players in the country, but now the last 2 weeks between Adidas and here at Nike. And all of those players mentioned Calipari being in contact, talking about visits. Will Riley's a top 25 star, 6'7" that plays for UPlay Canada and the Phelps School in Pennsylvania. I interviewed him this week. He's going to take a visit in early June to Kentucky. He's already visited Arizona. He's probably going to visit Alabama either before or after Kentucky, and then he's looking to visit Arkansas in late June. And those are his top 4 schools that he's looking at. And then he's also got the National Basketball League in Australia as one of his final 5 options.
All right, cool. So let's talk about the pros right now. We got guys who are still playing for an NBA championship, and I'm looking at Jordan Walsh, who's with the Celtics right now, and then, of course, Daniel Gafford with the Mavericks. It's been kind of exciting. I'm not a big NBA girl, but it's been exciting to watch these guys play, going even back to that Thunder Mavericks matchup with Isaiah Joe and Jalen Williams.
First of all, I want to thank the gentleman that helped me with the door stop. I was holding the door open doing this segment with my foot.
Can we get a round of applause for him? Way to go.
Let's thank you, sir. You're a good man. Good man. I think he's taking a break out here.
I'm going home.
Going home. All right, waiting on a ride maybe. All right, so the Pro Hogs. Look, Arkansas had Pro Hogs win an NBA title in 2021 with Bobby Portis Milwaukee. A year later, it was Moses Moody as a rookie with Golden State. No Pro Hogs winning titles last year, but guess what? Boston's 3-0 over Indiana. Jordan Walsh, the rookie, he's actually on the 15-man active roster for playoffs. And then Daniel Gafford starting for Dallas, averaging 13 points, 6 rebounds and 3 blocks per game. The Mavs 2-0 lead over Minnesota Timberwolves. Both wins on the road, by the way. So Dallas comes home for the next 2 games. So both guys are tracking. If Boston and Dallas advance to the NBA Finals, which it looks like that's going to happen, that means it's guaranteed a Pro Hog will be an NBA champion for the 3rd time in the last 4 years of it.
Absolutely. And think about this, you know, Kevin, not only that, but Corliss Williamson is an assistant coach with the Timberwolves. So regardless what happens with that matchup, you're either going to have a former Razorback who is now an assistant in Corliss Williamson, or even Daniel Gafford playing for an NBA title. So it's a win-win regardless for Arkansas.
Well, look at Corliss. That would be a trifecta if they can pull that off.
Yeah.
National champion in college, won an NBA title with the Detroit Pistons in 2004, knocked off the Lakers, Shaq, and Kobe in 5 games. And so as an assistant coach with Minnesota, that'd be kind of a trifecta. Remember his college coach, Nolan Richardson, junior college national title, an NIT championship, and then the national championship at Arkansas.
Yeah, he is one of a kind, Big Nasty is, but still really cool that we've got someone to follow closely in those NBA playoffs. It's been fun, Kevin. We appreciate all your hard work every week. We'll catch back up with you next week, okay?
Thanks, Alyssa.
Thanks so much.